One of my all-time favourite toys is the Toro Fluxus that we've had in the shop for many years, and it's everywhere now. But it was interesting to see that Casper Schwaber, who I've used to meet up in Switzerland and now moved to Japan for the last 20 years, decided when he's out there, one of his projects was to create a mini Toro Fluxus, this one here. You have to look very carefully at the type of spring you use. It's got to be a very soft spring because all it's got is gravity pulling it down, and it just won't work with any stiffness at all. But this one flips out like that, and it rolls like that. But when it rolls down under gravity, it will just about, because there's sufficient softness in the spring here to allow it to move with just a very, very light weight. So let's go. You put a bit of string through it like that. I'll see if I can get this into focus too. I've got to start spinning it, otherwise it will start slipping down. And it doesn't keep spinning. Oh, yes, it does, just about. So I'm very pleased with that. And he's made several of them. Well, he made several hundred because he gave them out at Gathering for Garden one year. Put it in a little box with his logo on that thing as well. So I was very pleased to get that, and it's one of my little favourites. Here's a more bizarre thing. Well, I love the bizarre, don't you? It's a ballpoint pen, of course. He's got a very odd thing at the top. It's one of those. Well, he looks a bit odd, doesn't he? Staring eyes. And now if I squeeze it, of course, as you imagine, he's expressing surprise because you've asked him so much more than he expected to pay for at the shop. What was the price you said? His eyes popping out of his head. Eye popping price. The customer often resorts to that in order to make them to try and get the shopkeeper to lower the price a bit. So it's a fun thing, but you've got to squeeze it quite hard to make it work. Now here's a very strange item. It's a book which I picked up, I think again, 2010, about lawn cutting. It's made of lawn here. It needs cutting, I think, incidentally. It's quite thick. You see, look at that thickness there. Extraordinary. Very clever bit of design work, that. It was originally just an ordinary picture on the front. And when you look at it inside, you realize they really are quite serious about teaching you how to cut your lawn into wonderful patterns and make some artwork on your lawn. And it's really quite a good exercise. The basic one is just going up and down. This first picture here. Just going up and down like this one. And that's what I can do on my, that's as far as I get, stage one, the very first out of about 20 stages. But then occasionally, if you've got a big enough lawn, you can then go across the lawn and start creating it like a checkerboard. You're going up and down, and then when you finish that, you go back forward across the lawn. So now it gets more complicated because you're getting wide and thin bits. And how you do those, I don't know. I'd have to read the text more carefully. I don't feel fully enthused to do it because my lawns have never. Oh, look at that! Ones with round bits as well. Goodness me, how are you going to achieve that? Ropes and things to give you a nice concentricity. Yes, I suspect. Put a pin in this end, and then yes, and then you've got whoopsie lines. It's a bit like topiary. It's really advanced gardening by talented gardeners who have got enough time on their hands and skill to produce wonderful effects from just natural things like lawns. And it gets more and more complicated. Towards the end, you're getting numbers appearing. I don't know how they do those, but they do. They insist you should learn how to do numbers on lawns. And I'm getting some inspiration from some of this stuff, but it's way, way beyond anything I've ever seen. It'd be nice to be able to get people to come and admire these, wouldn't it? So in some of these grand country houses, as well as looking at the topiary, which is often a good feature of many of these grand houses, look at that one there. Imagine having that. You're looking out the first floor window and you had a lawn cut to look like a Christmas tree. You're looking down, there's a Christmas presents at the base of the lawn. And these dark lines and the intermediate bits of grass have been cut the other way. And these are just garden lamps, I suppose. I mean, that's beautiful, isn't it? Wonderful stuff. So a very, very interesting effect there. What you must make sure when you're doing these, once you've created it, is you mustn't walk on the lawn. Well, despite that, I've got a little walking figure to finish with, which is actually quite fun. I've had this since originally the 1970s, but this is a little more advanced because it does something else. He's going to walk on the lawn to start with, and I have him walking on the pavement, on the board. That's what he's going to do. And you see what's actually happening is really quite clever, this, because the little creature in this side keeps popping up, and you wind up with more. Oops, there you go. And he pops down and he comes up for air and turns his head left and right, right and left towards the camera. And I'll show it up to camera very close because the detail on this is superb. So his head comes up at every part of the cycle and turns left, right, left, right, left, right. The other one's just got a little blue area for something the kid to put a small toy into to join in the fun. But this one is definitely connected to the mechanism and does these quite nice actions actually. Let's see if I can get it to do like that. That's right, he moves left and right, left and right. I can't control it very easily. But what a clever idea that is. It's one of these walking automata, which Toby Company, I think it was, who produced them first, taken up to a much higher level. I love that one. Very nice indeed. So, but don't get him walking on your lawn. You've just been cutting patterns in it.